What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. We're here every morning thanks to BetMGM on BettingPros.com, wherever you get your audio podcasts, and on YouTube for the video. So, not a great night last night. Okay night. We get the Suns right, Sixers wrong. Sixers were up by 14 points late, and the Sixers only scored 1 point in the last 5 minutes against the Brooklyn Nets. That is disgusting. That was a game. We should have gone 2-0 on those plays. That stunk. The Michael Porter Jr. prop did not hit, but the Seth Curry prop did hit at plus 110, so we made a little money there. Not bad. And then the Red Sox over did not come anywhere near to hitting, and that run ends, well, I guess it was 5-0, right? So it came kind of close. 8.5 was the total. It goes under, and, well, that's the first time in forever that an over hit, first time in the whole series. Red Sox had a great year. Tip of the cap to the Astros. They were the better team, and I didn't bet a single side on that series for a reason, because I didn't believe the Red Sox were the better team, and I didn't think there was much availability there for the Red Sox to wind up, being competitive there with that game. So, not a great situation for Red Sox fans, because you hate losing and a year being over, but take the win. I mean, my gosh, take the season. It was unbelievable. We got that win, over 79.5 wins, and the Red Sox were competitive all the way to the Final Four. Congrats to the Astros into the World Series, where they're probably going to play the Braves because Max Scherzer is banged up. I don't know what to do with baseball today. There may be an ad on the podcast coming once we kind of figure out the way the Dodgers are going to do this and what the numbers are going to be. But boy, it sure feels like we're going to get a win here for the Braves in Game 6. And Dodgers are going to go to Atlanta, much like what the Red Sox dealt with, that crowd noise and the excitement. I mean, Braves, Astros, World Series. Oh boy, Fox. They could have had Red Sox, Dodgers. Instead, they get Braves and the Astros. Yeah. That's going to be one of those like click type World Series. Not good. But anyways, I'll watch it. I love baseball. It's a World Series. It's a lot of fun. So we got that wrong. So a 2-3 day, losing day. But, 1-1 in the NBA, 1-1 on props, and then the 0-1 in baseball winds up being 2-3. So, it's what it is. Hey, I saw our friend Cold Brewster in Vegas yesterday. Had a chance to have a drink with him at the Bellagio. That was fun. Check in. Always great to see Daily Juice Discord members hanging out and being a part. I didn't ask him? I didn't ask him what his real name was. Isn't that funny? I sat down and had a conversation with the guy. Never asked his real name. That's just kind of the way. It's been a very busy week, and my brain's been very, very, fried. But it is what it is. We did switch out the Memphis game because as I'm sitting with Cold Brewster, I get a text message about 30 minutes prior to the news coming out that the starting quarterback for Memphis wasn't going to play. A guy that I done his radio show, and he said, "Hey, Matt, I got inside information. Memphis' starting quarterback is out tonight." I was like, "Oh, okay." I talked to the guy like twice, so I didn't really believe it. And then it came out that, yeah, that's what happened. So we switched to the under in that game for the parlay, but the Red Sox team total didn't hit, so that killed the parlay, unfortunately. So that didn't come in, which kind of stinks. But, yeah, I've not hit a parlay in a while. It's been almost like 2 months since I hit a Friday parlay, so I got to get to work on that. I think we're only up like $500-600 now, so that's not great. Okay. So a couple things here as we get into a Saturday. I do not love this slate. Like I mentioned, I may add a baseball play. I may add some NBA props. I may have one more unit going today. But we already have Pitt -3 up against Clemson. I am going to add 2 more plays to the card here, both in the SEC. You can probably predict where I'm going to go, but I am very curious to see what the Discord bet's going to be, because the Discord bet is 5-2 now, right? Hit last week again. You guys have been really good here with the Discord bet, so we're going to do that at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat, or the link is underneath me here on YouTube to get into the Discord channel. We will do that. We have like 150 people who come around and are part of the Discord conversation, and we have some great options, and maybe people will throw out some things that I like. This week, I have a ton of leans. Like, I lean towards USC at Notre Dame +7. I lean towards Oregon +1, +2 on the road at UCLA. What else do I lead? I lean towards the under with LSU And no, so sorry. With what was the other game? I lean towards the under. Let me see which. There's one game in the SEC that I was looking at that I was talking about leaning towards. And I was like, you know what? If I had to bet it, that's the side that I would be on. Hold on. I have a list of things that I want to pull up here that I can talk about. I only have 2 plays for the podcast right now to add here. Both of them are full units. Let's see. It is what other game was I leaning towards the under in? I'm forgetting it now, so I apologize. But I was leaning towards the under in one of the games. Maybe I'll remember it later. But I was leaning towards I leaned towards Iowa State -7 against Oklahoma State. So I leaned there. But I'm not there. I couldn't pull the trigger on any of these games. The only thing I was able to pull the trigger on, okay, is the fact that Alabama is taking on Tennessee. I am old enough to remember when this game meant something. I am old enough to remember when I was first covering the SEC and covering Alabama, what this game would mean. I left Alabama in 2004. Nick Saban is a whopping, and I mean a disgusting, 14-0 against Tennessee. I mean, they don't just beat Tennessee. They humble Tennessee. They destroy Tennessee. I know Hooker and company's coming in here, but man, I just don't see it. Okay, I just don't see it personally, and I have a difficult time getting my brain around the idea that Tennessee is going to be able to hang around and score it all. Tennessee's team total is 20.5. Some people like the under there. Say they're not going to score 20 points. Like the under there. That's not crazy. Some people are saying take the Alabama team total, which is 47.5. It's a big number, right? For me, I'm just going to go back to the old standby. I think Alabama is going to kick the living crap out of Tennessee. And I mean just trounce UT. It's at home. It's in Tuscaloosa. Bama's on a mission. Bama already stubbed their toe. Their defense is their strength. I talked about that against Miami. We've been on this for a bit about how strong the Alabama defense is versus their offense. First half number is Alabama -15. Now, this thing's climbing, and hopefully you get a decent number. I would say you could play it all the way up to 17. Wouldn't play it over 17. That kind of would be the high that I would play it. But the Crimson Tide, I think, are just going to go in there and whip and crush Tennessee. Don't see the Vols hanging around. I know this may be, people like to use this for a Discord bet, but I'm taking it for myself. I'm going one full unit. Alabama -15 first half against Tennessee. Have them be up somewhere on the line of like 21-3. Okay, something along those lines. Crimson Tide are going to get after it. They're going to score. They're going to score consistently. And I don't think that the Vols can stop Alabama's offense. I think they'll run the ball down their throat. They'll play defense. I think this is a very lopsided game early. Don't want to play around with the 25 points in the second half because maybe there's a backdoor cover in there because I do think that Tennessee can move the football on a team that's not interested in the second half. So I don't really want to play around with that. And this reeks of a backdoor cover to me for for Tennessee rather. So I'm going to go first half for the Crimson Tide to continue to pound teams in the first half, in particular at home. Alabama -15 in the first half against Tennessee for one full unit. And then one other bet for you guys here. Let's talk about let's talk about Ole Miss and LSU. All right, this is a 12:30 kickoff Pacific time, 3:30 Eastern time kick. Ole Miss at home. So the Tigers for LSU, do we think that Ed Orgeron told them before the Florida game that he was leaving, and that's why they rallied, and that's where they came and played their butts off and beat Florida 49-42? Here's the weird thing about this game. Matt Corral has a calf injury, and he was doubtful to play as of Sunday and Monday, but I think he's going to play in this game. If he doesn't, I like this play even more, but I think he's going to play. He's going to fight. But if you've got bigger fish to fry, if you're Ole Miss and you're at home, you got bigger fish to fry, do you play at the same tempo that you would play normally? I don't think so. Also, the leading rusher for Ole Miss is Matt Corral. 450 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns. You get a bum calf. Do you expect him to run the ball? Do you expect him to be all over the place, like scrambling and doing that crazy run around like a wild man like he always does? I don't think so. I don't think he does that. And to me, I think that's a pretty significant deal here that he can't run and he's not going to run. So I think this could be a lower scoring in a slower game than people expect. I also don't love the LSU offense. Okay, I mean that was kind of an anomaly. They're scoring 32 points a game. I don't think they do that here. Okay, I know they scored 49 last week, but they scored 21 against Kentucky, 19 against Auburn, 28 against Mississippi State. I think they're going to score somewhere in the upper 20s for LSU. I think Ole Miss will score somewhere. I mean, the lines come down a lot. It was 10.5. Now it's 7.5. So a lot of money's come in here in LSU because of the Matt Corral situation. I just think the total hasn't moved. It's really weird. While the line moves has come down, the total hasn't moved. It's just stood there at 76. Now it's 76.5. I think this number is too high. I'm going to take the under for 1 unit. I know, scary, but I'm taking the under. I don't think either team scores at the same pace they normally do, and I think the Matt Corral injury, Ole Miss wins maybe by 7. I don't know. Remember, last week it was 31-26 against Tennessee, and everyone thought that game was going to go flying over, and that game had 57 points on it, okay? Went way under the 84 that game was projected at. I think a very similar situation happens. I think a very similar score happens. You know, one team in the low 30s, other team in the upper 80s, in the upper 20s, going under 76.5 for Ole Miss and LSU here. And I don't know how many points LSU scores, but if Ole Miss can't do their normal offense because of Matt Corral, I think it changes everything. So going under 76.5 for Ole Miss and LSU. All right, so those are the 3 plays for 3 units in play for the Daily Juice. Again, I can't come. I was trying hard to find my way into other plays that I like better, and there just really isn't anyone out there that I really love at the moment that I want to jump in on. I'm just not there, and maybe there'll be something in the morning. You guys will give me a Discord bet. Maybe I'll have another play later on that we can jump in at. But for right now, the card is Pitt -3, Alabama first half -15. Under 76.5 for Ole Miss and LSU. Those are the 3 plays. Again, USC, Notre Dame, Okie State, and Iowa State. There's different, plays that I may jump in on, but just not there at the moment. NBA as well, maybe NBA player props and other stuff we might be able to jump into and have something to go with. I mean, it's, we'll see what happens. We'll see how the day goes on a Saturday. But we'll have the 11 a.m. Eastern time Discord chat on the Discord channel, and then we'll have the Circa chat as well coming up at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time to pick our Circa entry plays to see how we're going to go in our entries. 2-3 last week for the Circa, I believe, right? I went 3-2 on my other team, 2-3 this week. So hopefully we get a good run of it and go, oh, wait, I forgot a play. Sorry, forgot one play. The teaser. I have my own personal teaser I want to give you guys. And this is because the Eagles game, the number's moving, and it's moving in the direction of the Eagles. So it's 3 right now, but some books are already at 2.5. And because of that reason, I want to make sure we get to the 9 by teasing the Eagles at the Raiders up to 9. Papa Bear is on a table for this. This is his big bet. He thinks the Eagles win the game outright against the Raiders. I don't know. I like the Raiders personally, but I don't like the Raiders by more than a touchdown against the Eagles here. And so maybe a letdown spot here. Raiders got up big for the Broncos, come home, didn't look great in their last home game against the Bears. Maybe they stubbed their toe here, getting Lane Johnson back for the Eagles. We're going to take the Eagles from 3 to 9, plus 9 on the Eagles, and the Patriots from 7 down to 1. Everyone's teasing the Patriots, okay? I get it. The only way it loses is if the Patriots lose the game outright. And if the Patriots lose to the Jets at home, pack it up. The year's over, okay? That's just basically like pack it up, game over. Bill Belichick against a rookie quarterback. That rookie quarterback and Zach Wilson who wound up throwing 4 picks in the first matchup. I mean, it's kind of wacko. If they lose this game outright, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do with it. It would be horrific. So Patriots -1. It's a -120 teaser, okay? Eagles +9, Patriots -1 for my one teaser that I do. Hit it last week. The Wong teaser didn't hit. My personal play did hit. So let's see what happens with that. So we'll go here, okay? So there's the teaser. I'll have a Wong teaser on the Sunday live stream, but that's my personal teaser for the NFL. Eagles +9, Patriots -1 for us here today for the Daily Juice. All right, so full card here for the podcast. Pitt -3, Alabama -15 in the first half, under 76.5 for Ole Miss and LSU. Eagles +9, Patriots -1 teaser for the NFL coming up on Sunday. My name is Matt Perrault. I'll talk to you over the Discord channel chat at 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern on a Saturday morning. This podcast always being brought to you by BetMGM. It's found every single morning on BettingPros.com.